Nasty work. Another one bites the dust. Jason Lloyd has been exposed. It is over. You look bad. This is nasty work. It's nasty work. Let's get into what Jason Lloyd had to say. Then we got to get into what G. Bush had to say. G. Bush cooked him so bad. Yo, I don't even know how they still working together. G. Bush cooked him so bad. Let's get into what Jason Lloyd had to say because it was nasty.
Than that.
Harder than anybody.
It's more than that. He still doesn't know what he's looking at. He still doesn't flip protections. He doesn't know when he's hot. This isn't me saying this. I'm not an NFL. I've never claimed to be an NFL coach. This is people in that building will tell me he still doesn't know how to flip protections. He doesn't know when he's hot. He doesn't know what he's looking at. He can only throw to wide open receivers. He doesn't make tight window throws. He doesn't throw guys open. This is not the answer. These last 2 weeks were the opportunity coming off the Titans game to show that he can be the guy against playoff contenders, and he has not lived up to it. This is not it.
I heard
this is the crazy thing. The Browns, for all the quarterback problems that they've had, right?
harder than anybody.
This is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. Now, somebody said Jason Lloyd with the hatchet job on a rookie after a sixth game. Anonymous sources on the team. You're a hack loser. That's an unfair BS analysis. You should be ashamed. Did Stefanski get you into say this? You always have. Yeah. Y'all see it, man. Now let's get into what G. Bush had to say because G. Bush just absolutely cooked this dude in the worst way, as he should, because that's what G. Bush do. He cooked clowns like Jason Lloyd who exposed themselves.
Jason Lloyd, we talked about what grades will we give one Shedeur Sanders in his effort. And usually when you come in and you have these conversations, some person has a grade. Some people might have a little bit lower grade than you. Welcome to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. Is your boy G. Bush right here. We give one Shedeur Sanders in his effort. And usually when you come in and you have these conversations, some person has a grade. Some people might have a little bit lower grade than you. Some people might have a little bit higher grade than you. But today was very interesting because it seemed like the energy in the room was off a little bit. Not only was the energy and the grades off, we had the bombshell news that due to EPA, the end-all be-all, the Wizard of Oz, EPA, came out and has let it be known that Shedeur Sanders is the worst quarterback in the modern era in a century. Worse than Jamarcus Russell. Worse than Johnny Manziel. Worse than Deshaun Kaiser and Charlie Fry. No. If you thought Brady Quinn was bad, nah, it wasn't that. If you thought Colt McCoy was mid, no, there's been no other mids besides. If you thought Brandon Whedon was ridiculous, or Jake Delhomme, or Josh McCown, or Austin Davis.
This is what I'm saying. They be making up these, they want to use EPA now. Like they'll find something to show that they hate Shedeur. And this is just Jason Lloyd exposing himself. And this dude got cooked. He's a clown, man. He got cooked.
You're mistaken, because none of those guys played worse. Nobody has played worse, even Dylan Gabriel, than one Shedeur Sanders. None of the metrics show it. None of them. I sat there in disbelief. I said, what? He's the worst quarterback ever? Forever? I get it, guys. You lost the race. People put their money behind Kevin Stefanski, and that didn't work. I told you what Kevin Stefanski, what was coming to Kevin Stefanski, and maybe, people a little hurt by that. I understand sometimes you believe in people, and they don't get it done, and they got to move on. Hey, I even had to move on from Imani Bates. Shout out to Imani Bates, by the way. We running around crashing out, saying patently false things about a dude who just threw for the most yards. See, the funny thing about statistics is we can make these statistics say whatever we want to.
Exactly. That's my exact point. You can find a statistic to try to prove your point about anything. I don't care if the EPA says that Shedeur Sanders has been worse than Dylan Gabriel, go to hell with the EPA. That's how I feel.
But sometimes when you jump off the roof without the parachute, you make yourself look wild and crazy. So when Shedeur Sanders was the first quarterback to throw for over 350 yards besides Joe Burrow, 3 touchdowns, 1 running touchdown, I think that was a statistic too, right? But what we've done is we'll tell you that don't count. And let me just give you a little something. I used to debate. I used to be on the debate team. Just because you try to change the subject real quick don't mean that you're right. Jay-Z once said, just because you don't understand him don't mean that he's nice. Just means you don't understand all that BS that he writes. Is it Uchi Wally Wally or is it one Mike? Is it black girl lost or shorty owe you for eyes? I've been real all my life, but you confuse it with deceit.
Nah, G Bush, you cooking. You cooking with the whole verse. You cooking with.
Listen, we're rapping early. You come up with this literal EPA stat. What is the stat? Oh, it's a new one. It's a very new stat that it's a stat that's just come around that dictates and lets everybody know that that this is encompassing of everything. And the names at the top are the names that you would notice at the top that should be there. And the names at the bottom are the ones at the bottom that you don't listen. First and foremost, rule number 1 is if you want to come to the battle if you want to come to the battle, please have your facts straight. If you're gonna have EPA, don't come in there off the phone. What I need you to do is have it written down so that we can explain to the audience, because you said something that was very, very, very over the top. So for over the top information, I need over the top instructions. I need you to understand, break it down, know it in and out. I need you to know the ends of the EPA. Who created the EPA? Let me know the names at the top of the EPA. Are there outliers in the EPA? Tell me tell me which is in the tape, what you see in the EPA and how mine matches up. But you don't got none of that. The names at the top are the ones you want. The names at the bottom. This is, once again, narrative based. I need supporting details. I need some facts. We then go on and we talk about how he's the worst quarterback ever. But when you say, okay, based on what? Oh, the EPA says it. Okay, well, if we're talking about quarterbacks to quarterbacks, let's compare him to quarterbacks in his own draft class. Jackson Dart, Tyler Shook. Can we talk about Cam Ward? I bring up those quarterbacks and they're like, we're not talking about those guys. Why are you bringing them up? In what world can you just simply, it's called a data set. So when you're comparing something to something else, you have to have some data and other pieces of information to compare it to.
But you see, they don't want to do that. They don't want to compare it to anything else. They don't want him compared to the people that are in his rookie draft class, the Jason Lloyds and the people that are exposing themselves, the Jason Lloyds, the Mary Kays. They been not wanting anything to do with Shedeur Sanders. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way real.
You can't take one thing in a vacuum, anything anybody know about science. If you getting a scientific method together, you have to figure out if you got anything that's replicatable. You have to be able to replicate what you're talking about. So when I'm talking about Jackson Dart, I'm comparing apples to apples. I'm comparing data sets. That don't count. But we're not talking about him right now. That's the point we keep trying to tell y'all. Every single it is the clear definition of moving the goalpost. You use one set of information to make your argument. Then the information that you don't want to hear, you simply disregard, take it out, or say, I don't want to talk about that. We sat there and had an argument, a conversation, and the conversation was about whether or not Shedeur Sanders had the ability to become a viable franchise quarterback. And my question is, and all of the time and all of you tell me you're much more impressed with Dante Moore's tape in his 1 year or what Shedeur Sanders has done in 5 games in the NFL. Mind you, this the same Oregon playbook that birthed Dillon Gabriel. And by the way, Dante Moore couldn't beat Dillon Gabriel out last year when he was on the same squad.
G. Bush, that's how you stir the pot on him. That is exactly how you stir the spot and cook a clown like Jason Lloyd. This dude is exposed. This dude is just nothing more than a Shedeur hater. He's a part of the anybody but Shedeur train. That is what Jason Lloyd is. And he got cooked by a coworker. You got destroyed. I don't even know how you gonna sit next to him on the next panel. I don't know how you even did it. Nasty work, Jason Lloyd. You've been exposed. You're cooked, man. Wrist up 12 times. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. This Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel.